Yo, what's going on everyone? How you guys doing today? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at another one of those returning Splicer weapons. And today, we're taking a look at the very first grenade launcher that I really fell in love with, which is the Ignition Code. Now, the Ignition Code has returned with new perks, and also some old familiar ones. I'm just going to straight up tell you, it does still have Slice Shot. So if that was like the main thing that you were looking for, yes, it will have it. But it also has some of the new ones, so you might also want to look into those as well. So today we're going to be taking a look at what makes this weapon unique, what makes it special, what are the best perks that you can get on it, and the ones that you should be going for if you're looking for a God Goll on this weapon. And afterwards we'll have a mini review where I just kind of tell you what I like or dislike about the weapon. So anyways, let's get started, and first let's talk about how to actually get the weapon. And the best way that you're going to be able to get this weapon is going to be through the tonics. This weapon luckily has a tonic that specifically focuses it, so every time that you get onto play, just make sure that you turn on this tonic and you'll have more ignition codes actually drop. Now the ignition code is a lightweight frame grenade launcher, so it's just a regular breech loaded grenade launcher. It's like the default type of grenade launcher. And since it's a splicer weapon, it now comes with the new origin trait, Splicer Surge. Reloading this weapon at steady deals damage will give you more handling and reload speed till you stow the weapon. I would say that's a pretty decent origin trait. It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst either. But now let's move on and actually take a look at the trait perks that you can get on this weapon. We're going to be taking a look at every single perk in perk 1 and perk 2. And we're going to go over what are some of the best ones for PvE, what are some of the best ones for PvP. And at the end we're going to have some god suggestions for what I think are the best roles. So let's get into it. So these are the options we're going to have for the first trait perk. Not looking too bad. And first we have Slice Shot. A sliding will partially reload this weapon's magazine and temporarily boost its range and stability. Now Slice Shot is pretty much the reason why the ignition code ever became popular, and I'm so happy that it's still like an option that you can get on this weapon, and it's still probably one of the best options that you can go with. After that we're gonna have Ambitious Assassin, another really good perk. This is gonna overflow the magazine, so when you get a kill, you're gonna get 2 in the mag, and that's also really good. Especially in something like Crucible, hitting somebody with 2 shots back to back is definitely something that they're not going to be expecting, and a lot of times you just catch people off guard that way. But even in PvE, just being able to overflow your grenade launcher is pretty great since you don't really have to reload as often. After that, we're going to have Unrelenting. Rapidly defeating targets triggers health regeneration. Now Unrelenting I think is going to be just okay. Not that great, not that terrible, it is just a way to get some health back. Something that the perk doesn't mention is that on top of the health regeneration that you're gonna get, you also get like a flat bump of health. I think you get like 65 HP when you activate it, and then of course your health starts regenerating afterwards. So that is pretty nice. You do get like just an immediate bump to your health, but I just still don't think it's gonna be that great, just because it requires multiple kills instead of just one, like something like Heal Clip. Next up, we're gonna have Lead from Gold. This is gonna give you some special ammo every time that you pick up heavy. And this is the perk that you want to use if you're just spamming your special weapon. This pretty much makes it so you never run into like ammo issues. Or if you're really spamming the weapon, it makes it less likely that you'll run into some ammo issues. So if you just want to have a bunch of ammo and use your weapon a lot, then Lead from Gold is what you want to go for. And the last perk that we have on this weapon, it's a very interesting one because we have Permeability. Using our class ability changes this weapon's type to match our super. Now this one, I'm gonna admit, is pretty niche like right out the bat, but it could work on specific builds, especially if you need like a specific type of weapon. So it has some potential, very niche potential that like 99% of people won't use, but it's something that you can do. Now the best perks that you're looking for in PvE are definitely gonna be Lead from Gold to get more ammo, Ambitious Assassin so you can carry 2 in the mag, and also Slideways just so you can reload your weapon faster. And for Crucible, the best ones would again be Slideways and Ambitious Assassin for pretty much like the same reasons. Because you can overflow your magazine, and also because you can just reload your weapon faster. Now these are the options that we're gonna have for the second perk, and let's start with the one that gives me always the most trouble, Reverberation. Final kills with this weapon will increase the size of detonations for a short period of time. And this pretty much just matches out our blast radius after we get a kill. I can see this being useful if you're just trying to add clear with this weapon, then this would be pretty great. Now moving on, we're gonna have Strategists. Final blows with this weapon will give you class ability energy, and also whenever you activate your class ability, you get improved stability. The second part doesn't really matter to us, but being able to get some more class ability energy, now that's gonna be pretty great. This is gonna be great if you're going for a build that uses maybe your class ability a lot, or even if you're not, just having more class ability and being able to spam it is also pretty good. So this is gonna be a pretty decent perk, not the best, but definitely not the worst. After that, we're gonna have Frenzy. Now Frenzy is gonna give us a bunch of different good things. After 15 seconds of being in combat, we're gonna gain 15% damage increase. We're gonna gain 100 reload and also 100 handling. So overall, our weapon is just gonna feel really good and it's gonna be doing more damage. Frenzy is definitely the perk that you wanna use if you wanna use this weapon a lot more, like as your primary weapon. So if you're going with Frenzy, I would definitely recommend something like Lead from Gold. You can use it more often, and so you don't run into like any ammo problems. After that, we're gonna have Vorpal. Now Vorpal is gonna let us do 15% increased damage against mini bosses, bosses, and people in their supers in the Crucible. This is gonna be really good. It's a 15% damage increase. That's just always on. You don't really have to do anything special. You don't have to wait after a certain time. It's just gonna be a 15% damage that you can use against some of the bigger enemies. So I definitely really like both on these types of grenade launchers. It makes dealing with some of the bigger enemies just a little bit easier. After that, we're gonna have High Ground. Final Blows will give you increased damage, but also being on the high ground will give you increased damage. As long as you're at a higher elevation than your enemies, you're just straight up just gonna be doing more damage. But this one definitely has some potential. It is definitely gonna be niche, and it will definitely change your playstyle though. So be ready for that if you decide to go with High Ground. And lastly, we're gonna have some Harmony. Whenever you get some Final Blows with other weapons, it will increase the damage on this weapon. If you want to go Harmony, I would definitely recommend that you pair this up with just more Harmony weapons. That way you can always have that damage buff, just like on different weapons. Like each weapon just gonna procs the other weapon, so you're always running around with that 20% increased damage. Not the best perks that I think they can go for on the second column are gonna be Frenzy or Vorpal weapon. And for the Crucible, to be completely honest, none of these perks seem that great, but I would have to go with Vorpal, so you can do some more damage to people in their super. And also High Ground, because it may not be active all the time. When it is active, you are gonna be doing more damage with this weapon, being more likely to actually kill somebody. So now let's actually talk about God Rolls for this weapon. And first, let's talk about PvE. Now in PvE, you actually have a lot of different choices that you can go with, but one that I really like is Slice Shot plus Vorpal weapon. You can also go Lead from Gold plus Vorpal weapon, that will also be pretty good. Slice Shot plus Frenzy will also be really good, as was Lead from Gold plus Frenzy. Pretty much in any way that you mix and match those four perks is gonna result in a pretty good roll. Now for the Crucible, anything that you combine with Slice Shot is gonna be pretty well. Pretty much like that's the main perk that you wanna go for, just Slice Shot. And then things like Strategist for getting back some class ability energy on kills, Vorpal for doing more damage to people in supers, things like that are gonna be helpful. But definitely the main thing you wanna go for is just that Slice Shot. As long as you have that, it'll be pretty decent in the Crucible. So those are the God Rolls that I'm gonna recommend to you guys, and so those are the God Rolls that I'm gonna recommend to you guys. If you guys have any God Rolls you wanna recommend yourself, make sure you guys leave them in the comments below, and just kind of tell me what you guys think of the weapon in general as well. I myself still really like this weapon, and I'm really glad that they kept the Slice Shot, because the weapon just wouldn't be the same without it. It wouldn't really be the same weapon without like the main perk that defined this weapon. But not only that, but you also have some other good ones like Ambitious Assassin, Lead from Gold. So you know you have some options, but definitely Slice Shot is the reason why you want to go for this grenade launcher. But with that, we're gonna end today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, dislike if you didn't, subscribe to the channel in case you guys haven't already. I appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me recently, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.